I grew up in a very tough home. Um, there was a lot of verbal and emotional abuse. And so I can see where God was, even when I couldn't see it myself. And growing up, I just felt rejected, quite rejected. So I desperately wanted to be accepted. And I can see places where I tried to take things into my own hands. So to escape abuse, at a very young age, I attempted suicide. I was probably 12 or 13. And I was home by myself. And I just took whatever I could find pills-wise in the house. At the time, my parents were divorced. And I was living with my mom. So I just kind of tried to take whatever I could. Went into my room and laid on my bed. And then I closed my eyes. And I was awoken to the sound of a slamming door. And my mom was coming home. And it hadn't worked. And I just felt so awful. And just desperately wanted to be out of that abusive situation. And here I was. I had just failed to get out of it. And a few years ago, God said, I was there. That was not your time. And the shame that I had felt about that failed attempt was gone. A few years later, I was a teenager and once again searching for acceptance and friends, and I did not have that. So I ended up becoming friends with people who were a lot older than I was, like significantly older. And I remember this one day I got dressed up and I was never allowed to wear makeup, and my mom did not like my friends. So I snuck out of the house and went to a party. And I was drinking at this party, and I don't really remember what or how I ended up at a guy's house. I do remember this guy. He was friends of a friend. And he took me home, and I could not feel anything on my body, and I was kind of coming in and out of consciousness, and he was doing things to me. And just as he went to what would have been a rape, the light came on in the room. And one of my friends came bursting through the door, laughing. She'd accidentally walked into the wrong room. But she wasn't even supposed to be at this house. We were somewhere else. We weren't where the party was. And at the same time that the Lord said, that moment that you wanted to die, I was there. He also said, I turned on that light. This was before I was a Christian. I have walked away from car accidents without a scratch, just some whiplash where we should have died. Near misses. And in those moments, and this was all in the same experience, just like a couple years ago, God showed me where he was in every single one of those moments, before and after. And I could not deny his protection. But at that moment, you're like, oh man, I've lived a lot of life. I've lived a lot of rotten life. But you are always there because there's something more to come from this. And that, those moments where he shows me these places that he's been in my life from day one to today. It's like when your father takes you in his arms and reminds you how much you're loved and that he's always been there, even when it doesn't feel like it. You want to run to your dad when you're a kid, when you fall, especially if you fall off your bike. And that's what it is the arms of Jesus around you, reminding you that it was awful, but I was there. It hurt, but it doesn't hurt anymore.